Hello, welcome to week 7. Sorry my haze mess is really windy. We are outside of View, as you can see, and we're gonna go see week 7 is mad. See Hard Eyes. So it's an 18 plus scary one by the same people that did Scream, so I'm looking forward to it.
Guess who just took a picture of you?
Who is this?
Hard Eyes, as you just saw. Welcome back to week number 7, by the way. Hard Eyes is absolutely fantastic. It's made by the same people that did Scream. I believe the newest Screams, obviously. And it's got that essence. One of the reasons I love Scream so much is because it's not some senseless horror film where there's a killer and the killer has a motive, but it's not really a great motive. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. It kind of just feels a bit boring. But Scream has always kept that fresh. The killers have always had a motive. There's always been a story behind the killings. And I feel like that's what Hard Eyes has as well. But it's so different to Scream as well, because it's set around Valentine's Day, and the killer, Hard Eyes, targets couples, and it's just such a new, unique twist on the slasher. It's comedy as well. It was done fantastically. The entire film, I loved it to bits. And that's why I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I feel like I don't need to rant too much on it, because I've got to the point pretty straight away. This film is absolutely fantastic, and I definitely recommend seeing it if you love horror films, slashers. And it's not that scary. There's a jump here and there, but it's funny. It's a great story, great characters, and the film was done really well.
That has a great value to civilized man.
This one was a big one. The film number 50. We can't believe we're 50 films in already. Is Ventura When Nature Calls. And to be honest, it's a sequel to the one I watched a few weeks ago, Pet Detective. This one wasn't as good. I really didn't think this one was very good. It didn't have that aspect. The first one was really, it's a mystery. Obviously a detective, there's a case to follow, and that's something I love. I love to follow that story, but this film didn't have that, and the film didn't stick with me. It was really a bit boring. Jim Carrey, alright, he had his funny moments. He's always funny, to be fair, but it's just not the best. The story was a bit bland, boring, and just made no sense really, and it was, I can't really explain it. It was really just, didn't really enjoy it. So I'm going to give her a 3 out of 10. The first one was good though, so go back a few episodes and see my review on the Pet Detective. Forgot to record the beginning, but I chucked on Spirited Away. Because my friends watched it and I was like, oh, you know what, go on then.
Mom! My flowers are dying!
I told you not to smother them like that.
Akko, don't give up! What do we do? Is he dying?
It looks like he's bleeding from the inside.
From the inside?
I think so. Maybe he swallowed something.
Akko, I got this gift from the river spirit.
New home and a new school. It is a bit scary.
I think I can handle it.
Spirited Away. There's a lot of good things said about it. My friends recommended it, so I watched it. It's alright. I think, firstly, let's get on with the visuals. The animation style is alright. I love the environments, the scenery, the backgrounds. I think that was done really well. Lovely, stunning backgrounds. Not as nice as Makoto Shinaki's work, but I do respect it. Obviously, this one's a bit older. the people as well, I think the people are alright. I do prefer the backgrounds though to the designs, but more so the story of the film was a bit weird, and maybe that's part of the charm. It kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, where it's kind of like this weird world of like talking animals and little creatures. So I guess the weird story is a part of the charm of the world. And it does have a nice flow with the story. There are some weird parts, but also I find it a bit strange. And there's a few parts that it was a bit like, what's happening here? It was a bit weird. I think I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's just above half. Because, to be honest with you, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I do respect that it is a decent film. Right, Dio. I will admit I didn't watch one on Friday, but here we are on Saturday, and I'm watching the first film of 2 I'm watching today to make up for not watching one yesterday. And we're watching Thelma. Thelma was a weird one. It's about this old lady who gets scammed on the phone, and she kind of hunts her scammers down and seeks revenge, which is really, it's such a bizarre concept. It's such a just unique and weird concept, and I think that's a part of the charm of the film. They've gone for something new, something not even thought of before. And I think it does work. I thought it was quite a funny film. Obviously, that's where it is a funny film. It's not meant to be some fantastically scripted story. But the story, you know what, the story was quite decent. It was alright. I think mainly the main part of it was the comedy, and I do think that works really well. And the story, again, was fine to follow. I did enjoy it. So I think I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10, because again, it's not perfect, but it's also, you know, it's a nice... I probably recommend if you want to sit down, relax and enjoy. Right, this one's a bit sinister, but you know what, it's piqued my interest. Final Destinations. I've heard a bit about this, so I thought, you know what, it's on Netflix now, let's give it a go.
Just get me. So who's next?
Final Destination is a concept I absolutely love. I think it's such a really great concept. These people surviving an incident they were supposed to die, and then the idea of that, even though you might have cheated death, there is still no escape. And over the next few weeks, everyone who survives starts dying in the order they would have died in the whatever incident. Obviously, in the first one, it's a plane crash. And I think that's really well done. And there were 1 or 2 parts I thought that's a bit unrealistic. Because I think with these films, obviously the idea itself is unrealistic. I think the films do need to keep a level of realism to make them better. And there were 1 or 2 parts where they didn't have that realism. But I think they a little more tweaks here and there, and they can achieve that. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, because I do really love the concept, and it was a fun film to watch. Obviously nothing perfect, but it's a unique idea, and I do think it was done pretty well. Alright, the first one wasn't too bad, so let's watch the second one, shall we?
Ready? Clear! She's back! Epinephrine, 2 milligrams, IV push. I want her prepped and stabilized for ICU.
Final Destination 2, the sequel, it's literally basically the same as the first one. A little maybe repetitive here and there. The opening isn't as exciting, I don't think. The first one obviously had the plane crash. The second one is a car crash. So obviously it works still, and it needs to be different. I did prefer the plane crash a bit more though. But I guess it does work still. There's obviously a new cast of people, because the ones from the first one died. I think the deaths are still alright. The creative, I do like, that's one thing in this series I do like, is the creativity of how they kill off the characters. It's just, I think I prefer the first one a bit more. But overall, it's probably the same remarks I made about the first one for this one. It's pretty much the same level. I'm just going to give this one a 5 out of 10 because I did prefer the first one. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. New story, but you know, same gist. We're too far in now. We gotta continue. Final Destination 3. Final Destination 3, this one actually, I did enjoy a lot more than the first two. I say a lot more, I did prefer a bit more. I do love the opener, that's based on a roller coaster. I think that's pretty creative and unique. Like the first one obviously we covered is the plane crash, then the car crash, then a roller coaster crash. I did find I liked the cast more in this one. They're more college kids, or either high school, collegey. So it's more relatable to my age, and it's also kind of more of a younger generation. Yeah, the cast is good though in this one, and the way they get killed off is a lot more unique as well in these films as well. In this film I do think, and it fits the characters a lot more. Like the tan in bed, the tan in bed one was quite horrific, but there's creative ways to get killed off, and as well, the characters in this one, this is the film that kind of starts with the characters are investigating. Obviously the last two they put together, they die in any order, they try to prevent it, but this one they kind of, it's like a puzzle they need to follow, and all the pictures kind of foreshadow what's going to happen, and they kind of try and place themselves out of them scenarios, and I think that works really well. So I did think this one was a lot more interesting than the first two. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, just because it's probably my favourite Final Destination film out of the lot. You bet your bottom we are watching Final Destination number 4. And I've got a nice meal to eat it with.
I don't want anything to happen to you. And if we're together, it makes it easier for death to take both of us.
Now, with us being here, right now, it was the plan from the beginning.
And then we have the Final Destination, basically Final Destination 4, but it's called The Final Destination, which I guess is a play on how death is the final destination of all these characters. So I'm not sure why they didn't just go with Final Destination 4 though, because the next one is Final Destination 5. So, you know, it's a bit of a, it's kind of like Scream, where they go for Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, then they call it Scream, and then Scream 6 again, you know. But, I don't know why I'm going on a rant about that. Same gist in this one, got a race car track crash at the start. I do think the cast is quite alright in this film as well again, but basically it just goes, it's the same as the rest of them. I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10, just because I think the first one is still a bit better than that one, but I still love number 3 more than this one, so kind of go back down to number 5 out of 10. I think that's pretty solid for this franchise.
Hey, did Michael notice I wasn't here?
I don't think so. Is it your first day here?
What? No, I've worked here for like 2 years.
A Middle Eastern ceasefire. Don't know, Daniel. Daniel. Daniel? Are you there? Daniel? And that doesn't like me watching cartoons. No, Dexter's not a cartoon. Huh. What's Dexter about? Dexter is about a criminal pathologist who's also a serial killer. Oh.
As for the TV show, I only watched one this week. It was Sick Note, and it's a quirky TV show. It just come on Netflix. I know Sky TV show has been out for a few years, but I've only now seen it on Netflix. 2 seasons, and there's 2 seasons of pretty much the same consistent story, so it might as well just be 1 season. But I think it's a quirky show. It's an odd show, and it's got such a bizarre concept. But I think that's what makes it funny. The main actor in it is Rupert Grint. Ron Weasley's actor, and he's really funny in it, to be fair. It's really a funny, a bit bizarre show, so I'm probably going to give her a 7 out of 10, because I did really enjoy her, actually. I was invested, and when one episode ended, I was like, oh, let's check another one on. So I guess that's what a TV show is supposed to do, is make you want to keep watching. So I think it is worthy of that. And there we go. I need to get into editing week number 7 now. I can't believe this is week 7, because then I need to put together week number 8. Because I've literally, as of today recording this, I've entered week number 9, so I need to quickly hurry up, and hopefully I'm all caught up by then, the big week 10. And I might change up the formula of this series so it doesn't get repetitive in week 10. We'll see how it goes. Please, if you're seeing this now, comment how you want the formula to change up. If you think there's anything better I can do, check them in the comments. Check any film recommendations in the comments. I'll take anything you got to recommend. So yeah, I'll see you in week number 8.